welcome back to the channel. More Blood and Plunder here as we work our way through the online and peripheral powers. Today we're taking a look at the kind of quirky Swedish Militia list, and not Sweden is necessarily what comes to mind right away when we think Blood and Plunder. So this is a list that's focused a little bit more on the North American setting as opposed to the traditional Caribbean forces here that we would encounter. And this is one that wasn't much of a faction for very long in the real history here. So as you can see, not even 20 years, but nonetheless, there were some Swedes in the New World. So we get a couple of really cool special rules here right off the top, and these kind of combo together nicely. So with Battle Hardened and Hard Chargers, really giving us in many ways kind of an edge in close combat and rewarding getting those charges off. So Hard Chargers is going to give us a bonus to fight tests when we charge, and then Battle Hardened means we're rolling one fewer fatigue die essentially when we're in combat. So all in all, pretty nice. Lets us stay in the fight longer and get more hits in as well when we're charging. And again, we're not paying any points for getting these two rules, just universally across the whole list here. So really good stuff. So it can take units that aren't necessarily that great maybe to start with in close combat, making them a little bit better, and takes the units that are already great in close combat and really pushing them towards the top. Another neat feature that we get here is, a lot of times we run into units that, maybe start inexperienced, and, we sometimes don't necessarily have the options of upgrading them or even trained ones to get them to veteran. Here we get another just blanket rule across the board. All inexperienced and trained core units, now not all of our support units, sadly, but all of our inexperienced and trained core units in the force can be upgraded 1 experience level for 1 point per model. And again, we'll get to that in a second. So lots of great things that just apply for most of the list here. And then finally, another great one for our support units. Units in the force with artillery crew get to just exchange that with expert artillery crew for free. So we'll take a peek at that at the end as well. So core units, we just get basically a lot of European flavored units, as we might expect, to represent the Swedes here. European militia and European pikes, and this is roughly around the time still of the 30 Years' War over in Europe, and the Swedes were still a pretty big continental power actually at this time. So kind of cool that we bring that to the New World here. But anyway, yeah, European militia and pike, and we can again get those guys upgraded because they're part of our core force. On the support side, we get the European artillery crew, which, as we saw, we'll actually just get expert artillery crew. We got the sailors, European soldiers, European warrior archers. No, warrior archers, Native American ones, and warrior musketeers, again, Native Americans, to represent that we're in the North American theater here, not the Caribbean. So, and again, with that, everybody, hell, even the artillery crew is battle hardened and hard chargers. Everything here has that, and then our core guys can get upgraded. So command options, we have any sea commander, any a little typo there. This is still the old book, incidentally, but European commander or Sven, Svensson, Scoot. And then finally, for allied factions, if we're playing on the bigger scale here, we get Northeastern Woodland Tribes, which makes sense. So with that being said, we'll take a quick peek here at some of the other special rules for the force. Alrighty guys, so just as a quick recap of the special rules that we're getting access to for the force, just so that it's clear for everybody, right? So Battle Hardened, this is the one that applies to everybody. This unit reduces the number of dice rolled for a fatigue test by 1, but only if taken as a result of a fight action. But again, this whole list is really also then gearing us towards getting into combat or making us just better in combat in general. We then get expert artillery crew, which is great, again, if we're going to take this and maybe a cannon, right? If this unit is activated by a spade or heart, you can take a free reload action with artillery that it's assigned to. So definitely worth considering including some artillery then for just that very reason. And again, if we're also playing on the water in any capacity and needing to assign these guys to man some ship cannons, we're going to be doing some good work there as well. And then finally, as we saw with the other combat-oriented rule, we just get hard chargers all the way across the board. So when charging, this unit receives a -1 bonus to the fight test, so that's really like making it, again, easier for us to hit for that free fight action. So For our units that are already going to excel at combat, again, this is going to make them just that much better. And combined with any other special rules that the individual units might have, we're going to really be able to punch pretty hard with this list. And so getting those crucial charges off, and maybe, you know, on a unit, an enemy unit that already has some fatigue on it, and hopefully getting just really, really good results, especially with that bonus, we should be able to punch some solid holes into the enemy and really start folding them up, especially if we, again, play smart, use everything to our advantage, take advantage of any other, again, individual unit rules, and really just focus the enemy down. And hopefully the dice gods will be in our favor as well. And again, the list can still do quite a few things here, so as we come back to that, so just to check it again here, right? We get militia, just good all-rounder unit for core, the pikes, and again, we will have some control over their experience levels, right, with our upgrade path there for the core units. And then on the support unit, really just whatever we need, right? Again, do we want to bring artillery and really have those be top-notch sailors, right? So if we're going to be on any type of naval engagements, the soldiers, the archers bring their unique tricks as well, as do the warrior musketeers, and again, getting some of those special rules, and just the generic European soldiers as well can do a lot of work for us. So all around good stuff. And again, the fact that we get our Sea Commander here, the European Commander option, or if we want to then eventually take Sven as a special character. It's just a fun little list for a sort of small little snapshot in history here. Let us know, guys, if you've actually fielded the Swedish Militia. And then one other aside here, model-wise, just because there's from Warlord games, there's also the Pike and Shot game, which is sort of mass combat, but they do have some actual specific Swedish models, which I think would look good here as well if you wanted to branch out and look at some other options. So just as I mentioned there, a lot of that is in plastic, as far as I know, as well. So something to consider there, and because that is a mass combat game, easier to get in some bulk as well. But anyway, let us know, guys, if you've fielded the Swedish Militia, how that's gone, how you've incorporated the various list building components here, and where you've had your successes. Have you done better on land or at sea with this? Hit us all up in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe as we continue on with Blood and Plunder. Thanks so much for watching.